I really wish I didn't feel the way that I do.
There's a secret world out there, an underground world of people who are turned on by disability.
You're beautiful. I love seeing your feet and your legs. I thought they were very sexy and nice.
These people are everywhere and can be anyone.
And the internet's made it a lot easier for us to be able to come together as a community.
I'm going to find out for myself whether this is something we should be accepting or scared of.
It's objectifying who I am.
I felt a lot of guilt about the feelings that I have.
It's time to meet the devotees. My name's Emily Yates. I'm 24 and have cerebral palsy. I might be in a wheelchair, but like most young women, I want to feel attractive and desired. My disability doesn't define me, and I'm always shocked by people who think it does. A few years ago, I was going to my college ball and I posted a photo of myself in my dress on Facebook. And I got a few really lovely comments, but also one that's really stuck with me. And it just said pretty cripple. Cripple? Why bring that up? Then I discovered it's actually a thing. Men and women who get turned on by disability. They're called devotees, and there's thousands of them online in specialist chat rooms. I can't resist joining in. In the online devotee world, there seems to be a healthy market for buying and watching videos of people with disabilities.
Please subscribe if you want to see more.
Leading the pack is a woman known as Para-Princess. Leah Caprice was working in the sex industry, making videos when she broke her back. Since then, she's found a new audience for her work, the devotees. I've come to Cardiff to meet her. I think first of all, take us through the journey of like Leah the Para-Princess.
When I broke my back and was in hospital, it was a bit of a culture shock. I wasn't ready to be all boring in a wheelchair, give it all up. So a guy I was seeing brought a laptop in for me. He didn't know my intentions. And I started Googling wheelchair porn. And I started working from a hospital bed.
Wow. Would you be happy to show us some of your videos?
Yeah, if you want to have a look, Google me.
All right, cool. I'm sure it'll all come up.
Have you done anything like this before?
This UK Flashes video, this seems to just come up everywhere. Everywhere I search for
popular,
you.
isn't it?
Show us what you've got under your t-shirt or whatever, the purple thing is from there. Let's see what you're dealing with.
Lovely tattoo.
Nice bra.
Thank you. It's very nice. I wanted them to see that a girl in a wheelchair flashing is just as sexy as a girl who can walk, getting naked in public.
That's really interesting because I think that these Flasher videos kind of blur that boundary between able-bodied people having proper sex, disabled people just focusing on the disabled body. To me, that's like you saying, yes, I'm in a wheelchair, but yes, I'm really feminine and my body's still really sexy. And I think that's great. But Leah soon realised that the people watching her videos weren't interested in her taking her clothes off.
I found what was really popular, and I've done a lot of them, is showering, drying and moisturising and getting dressed.
All right.
They're generally happy with you rolling around on the floor.
That's something that I wanted to kind of ask you about. You know, a lot of the disabled porn that I've looked at, it doesn't seem to always have, you know, sexual acts in it. It seems to be focusing on the disabled body.
Yeah.
What's kind of the distinction there?
They like to watch the struggle, which is a bit sick to think of, but that's one bit of feedback I had. They like it to use the words dead legs, floppy feet, struggling, any synonym for that.
So instead of a porn star going, oh God, yeah, you're
it's more
saying...
like everything's such hard work. Everything's such a drama. Easy getting down, just lift from the side. It's not sexy, they want to see disability.
Okay. This seems so weird to me. How could they just find the disability attractive? We've hooked up with some devotees online who've agreed to talk to us.
It's not something that I have any control over.
I'm lonely.
It's definitely hard interacting with people that don't understand it.
Nobody knows at work because I don't want to be judged.
There are definitely jerks out there.
It's pretty stressful.
But I don't think that all of us are that way.
The chat with Leah has got me thinking that I should make my own video for the devotee community. It'll help me get to the bottom of what they find sexy and why. I really hope to experience what it feels like to have kind of fueled the fire of devoteeism. Does it feel like, oh wow, I'm a wheelchair user but I'm really sexy as well and those people really like me and that makes me feel great and really feminine? Or do I end up being quite creeped out by the whole thing and wishing I'd never done it? That's what I need to figure out. So I've put, I'd really like to know what your preferences are for a video like this. Should I be transferring or dressing? What should I wear, say or do? Just a reminder, I'm a wheelchair user with cerebral palsy. I need to be prepared though. Devoteeism has a definite dark side. Charlotte Fielder was born missing a hand. She's got an MBE for helping other limb-deficient people. But in 2009, she discovered her photo had been taken from Facebook and put on a porn site. It got obscene comments from devotees.
Your first thought is, right, shut down all my Facebook, close off my social media, I'm just not going to engage. But then I got quite curious because I wanted to learn more about devotees. What annoys me is the sort of covert nature of it, because I think it's a bit like stamp collecting. So I've got another photo of another one. I've been photographed on the train going into London. So I'll be doing something, and I've had that feeling of, you know, groups, and you know, sharing. Oh look, we saw this woman. You know, ooh, how yuck is that? How gross? You know, that type of thing.
Scary. It's scary.
It is scary.
And I hear all about these voyeuristic videos. You know, going to the supermarket and suddenly there's someone there on his mobile phone.
Wait a minute.
Some of these amputee devotees are extremely dangerous because they will go to all lengths to try and get their material. So they will create fake profiles, pretend to be fellow amputees. They'll do anything they can to try and get into a relationship with you.
Oh my God.
It's the emotional damage it does to people when they're at their most vulnerable. And because so few people are aware of it.
How bad, in your opinion, can devoteeism get? What should people be really, really worried about?
I think they need to think about amputee devoteeism being similar in some respects to paedophilia. I really do. And I know that sounds quite sort of like an extreme, but the reasons are this, that the elements are very, very similar. Pretending to be other people, trying to arrange to meet, and targeting and grooming the younger people because they think the younger people are more likely to be agreeable. So we all know about paedophiles, we all know about sex offenders, but we don't really know that much about these people. That's scary.
That is scary, and it's something that I guess even up until now I've not been aware of, so God knows who else is not aware of it. These are strong words from Charlotte. However menacing she believes some of them can be, calling devotees sex offenders seems harsh. Mind you, it's not hard to find other disabled people who've also had negative experiences.
There's a real concern for safety. Some of them obsess, and it's weird. It's really weird. And so, I mean, personally, I get a little nervous sometimes because I don't want them to know where I live.
You really have to be careful online because while some devotees are nice and honest about their intentions, other devotees are not honest about their intentions.
The fake profiles gets a little obnoxious.
I've had people take my pictures and create a fake profile using pictures online.
Every day I get about an average of 1 to 2 devos contact me to add me as a friend. And I'm like, no, thank you.
Somebody who's like, hi, I think you're sexy and I want to suck you on your residual limb and your leg is so luscious. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to block you.
I need to talk to an expert. Dr. Michael First is a professor of clinical psychiatry at Columbia University.
Devoteeism is an umbrella term where it includes certain individuals who have something which is more like a fetish and other individuals who have something which is more like an orientation. That's why it's a semantic issue, really. Fetishes, by and large, have the potential for harm because they can interfere with the ability to develop a mutual caring relationship. So certain people who are devotees that have the version of it that's very fetishized, where they're focusing on a body part, for example, rather than the person, they have the potential to stand in the way of developing a mutual relationship.
The devotees who talk to us online seem sincere. They're driven by sexual feelings they can't help. I want to push them and find out exactly what they find attractive about disability.
What I think really turns me on are amputees.
My ultimate fantasy, if you will, would be a lady who's a double amputee with one leg amputated above the knee and one leg below the knee.
I like the way stumps look. I like seeing them move around.
I'm really drawn toward the asymmetry of it.
I started looking at able-bodied people and thinking it would be better if they were quadriplegic. I would be more interested.
I used to have a big archive of photos that I downloaded of, mostly amputees.
I'm not easily shocked, but some of the stuff they're into has left me speechless. I'm kind of nervous to see what they want me to do in my video. Quite a few people have liked and commented on it. Somebody said that they'd love to see me transfer from or to the bed or from or to my wheelchair, as fewer clothes as possible, with a clear view of my feet and legs. Then they've put that some spasms would be great too. I think I'm going to struggle with that bit. I think the lack of a performance in a way is the upsetting bit, because it's not that kind of totally takes the fun out of it for me. If it was a performance and I could look really sexy and that might be really fun, but actually what they're asking me to do is kind of just do something that I do every day and I possibly find quite difficult, so they can get off on it. I'm feeling pretty negative about the whole thing when a devotee finally agrees to meet me in person. He's in America. My God, I'm really nervous. I've got an idea in my head of kind of a tall, dark guy. He seems to be quite powerful and captivating in the way that he writes and the way that he speaks. Could be anyone, could be absolutely anyone. And that's kind of the exciting but the scary part, the fact that devotees could be anywhere. I've kind of realised that already, just from being about to meet this guy. Gray is married and agreed to meet me as long as we disguised his identity.
You're beautiful. I love seeing your feet and your legs. I thought they were very sexy and nice. A long leg brace or wheelchair, it's like a party dress. When I was very, very young, I realized that I saw women with disabilities differently than other people did. I saw a beauty of femininity when other people might feel sorry for them. At that time, most of the ones I knew, and certainly all the girls I had known, were girls who had polio, because I was of the first generation that had polio vaccines. So there are many older girls with long leg braces or in wheelchairs, and I thought they were pretty sexy.
Have you had really kind of fulfilling relationships with women with disabilities and with able-bodied women?
I've only had one relationship with an able-bodied woman. My very first relationship goes back to 8th grade, and the first day of class when a girl came in the room, and I was immediately in love, and she had proximal femoral focal deficiency, a very short leg, and she had one arm. And to me, she was obviously the most gorgeous woman in the whole school district. I find my relationships with women with disabilities, there's a level of intimacy. It's like an initial plane of contact, and intimacy is a plane of contact that you don't have so much with women who are not disabled.
There was no need to be nervous meeting my first devotee. He seemed pretty genuine. Now I'm off to meet someone who doesn't need a disguise. She's proud of being a devotee. This is Whole by Ruth Madison, and I read it on the plane on the way here. It's about a girl, Elizabeth, who's 17 and a devotee, really ashamed of it, and she meets a 25-year-old guy, Stuart, who is a paraplegic after a surfing accident. Ruth makes her own sim videos about disability and sex.
I am Ruth Madison, and this is the face of devoteeism.
Hi! How are you doing? Oh, it's just wonderful to have you here. I'm so excited. Me too!
I've noticed that you've got a wheelchair over there. What's that all about?
Yes, that is true. My office chair is a wheelchair. I got this off eBay.
Really?
Yeah. It kind of gets me in the mood, inspired to write dev stuff. I was really young when I first realized I was having these feelings. I was probably a toddler, 3 or 4 years old, and the one thing that followed immediately was I knew I couldn't let anybody know that there was something really horribly wrong about this and that people would hate me if they knew. And so that began years and years and years of intense secrecy and fear. I remember 2 incidents pretty clearly. One was visiting my grandparents at a nursing home and seeing people in wheelchairs there. And then another was watching a movie. It was actually Mary Poppins. I had a sexual experience of Mary Poppins because of the scene with the old man in the bank who uses a cane. He kind of struggles a lot and he almost falls, and I don't even remember it because other people are like, yeah, it means nothing to them, so they just forget about it. To me, it was like, played that over and over and over again and tried not to let my parents figure out why I was fixated on this movie.
Excellent. We can always use more money too.
And it's still sexy. It's like deeply imprinted on me.
I totally see that, you know, the disability can be sexual and that's what it's about. But does it also give you a kind of strength and a happiness that you do have a girl in a wheelchair in your house? How does it work? Or is it just simply a sexual thing?
The wheelchair itself can be attractive. I remember one boyfriend that I had, he was paralyzed but incomplete, so he didn't always use equipment. And when we were in bed together, I couldn't really see his disability at all. And so that would sometimes hamper things for me. And I'd be like looking over to the side, looking at his chair or his cane, just to keep things going. Disability is a really important part of my sex life. Like, I don't orgasm without it. I can't.
Meeting Ruth has left me feeling more empowered about the effect my disability has on others. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and make my video. I want to see the reactions from the devotee community firsthand.
Now I'm kind of feeling a little bit more self-conscious than I thought I would, but excited. I'm excited to do it and see how I feel. All of this, the low-cut dress and the makeup, it's almost a little bit pointless because I'm doing this for me. They're not going to be interested in this. They're going to be interested in this. So yeah, I'm just doing this to make sure that I feel all right about it. Okay. Do this bit, film this bit. Wait, yeah. This is very amateur, isn't it? So this is my beloved car with hand controls, and I'm gonna show you how we're getting. My feet aren't the prettiest, unfortunately, but we do a reasonable job. Body's really light as well, so my arms don't ache too much after doing it several times a day.
I still find it hard to believe that people will find me transferring from my wheelchair to my car worth watching, never mind sexually arousing. But after a few hours of editing, I'm ready to share my video with the devotee world.
Just gonna say that this is my first attempt. Please be kind.
My video was pretty popular, considering it's just me getting into my car. It's definitely helped me understand this world much better. Each to their own as long as everyone's safe. But it's not for me. Call me pretty if you want, but don't call me a pretty cripple.
Devoteeism will hopefully be accepted eventually.
I don't think I'm a freak. I think I'm someone who just sees beauty differently.
It's not something about me that I personally think that I need to hide.
Why exclude people?
It's just part of who I am. It's me.
It's okay to like different things. You know, we all don't like chocolate or vanilla ice cream.
I would definitely recommend a relationship with a devotee.
It's so creepy. They will find me on my Instagram. They'll find me on my Facebook.
You will feel completely accepted.
They will hunt you down.
People with disabilities deserve everything able-bodied people do. They deserve love. They deserve relationship. They should have a sexual life.
Part of the reason I like them is that something really bad happened to them, and that's, I don't know, that makes me feel like I'm, you know, I don't feel very good about that.
It makes me angry more than it makes me scared.
Devoteeism is a beautiful thing. It's not disgusting. It's not dirty. It's not a shameful thing to hide.
I recognize the feelings in these creepy devs. I know where they're coming from, and I'm not gonna say that they are different from me because we have the same feelings, the same attraction, and what we do with it is really the deciding factor between creepy and not creepy.